lychee martini.
At which northern beaches establishment? Which is your favourite?
I love the Belgrade Cartel, as you know, or Hugo's. I don't know. Somewhere going for drinks and girlfriends, reading, going to the gym. I don't know. Just going. I was going to say take the dog for a walk, but Rob knows that's a lie because I never walk with him. Yeah, just the usual.
And what was the last book that made you cry?
Well, I haven't read one day, but I've watched 3 episodes of the Netflix drama, and I couldn't watch anymore because I was sobbing. I was absolutely like, you know, those ugly sobs. It was so.
After 3 episodes?
Yeah, and I haven't read the book.
You can't keep going.
So I went and I read it ahead, and I found out what happens, and I was like, I can't. This will destroy me. So I switched it off and haven't watched it again. But I did read a book that was quite similar to that by Sarah Manning called To London with Love, and it's a very similar premise to One Day, and I just bawled my way through that. So yeah, if you need a good cry, that's another good one.
And what is the last book that you found hilarious or just so clever and funny?
I love Jess Detman's books. This has been absolutely lovely. It made me laugh. It was really good. And I also read Dawn French's The Twat Files, which made me buy a ticket to her show with one of my friends because she's just, I love her, and that was very, very funny. So yeah, probably those 2.
Does anyone have any questions for Ali?
Go on, Emma.
So this book's been picked up by America. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
So is there something that appeals to America about this book, or is it because the other books were so successful? How did that happen?
Oh, good question. I'm not entirely sure is the answer. I think I was picked up by Crooked Lane Books, and they sort of specialise in thrillers. And I think it was as simple as them getting the manuscript and enjoying it and thinking it might work out there. So, and I think maybe on the back of the school, the Felicity Huffman thing, you know, maybe it was of interest because of that. So yeah, that's been quite exciting. And I'm actually waiting for a delivery of my American books. So I get a few American books, and they're coming on Monday. So.
And why do they have a different cover? Why is?
I don't know. I think it's just. You know, America likes to have its own covers. I have the same cover in the UK for all of my books as I do here for ANZ. But yeah, America, they just like to, and they always have the words a novel on their books. So I was really excited when I saw that. I was like, oh my god, I've got American books.
Got a novel.
So cool. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just a thing. I don't really know anyone who has the same cover in the States and over here. Do you?
Yeah, it's usually different.
Yeah, it's usually different, Just different styles, I guess.
Would you ever go over to the UK to launch a book?
Yeah, if they wanted me to, yeah. I mean, I'm going back in July to kind of go to the Harrogate Crime Festival and see my publisher and stuff like that. But if they wanted me to, yeah. Because I still have, obviously my parents are there and my sister, so I'd go quite happily.
Do you feel more like an Australian author? Or a British?
Yeah, because I'm part of the Australian literary community. You know, I don't really know any British writers.
Hannah Rochelle.
Yeah, Hannah and Sarah Pearce.
Yeah.
But yeah, even the British ones out here are
there's quite a few.
the Irish one. I don't know. I definitely feel like an Australian in every way, really, more than a Brit. But I'm encouraging my children to remember that they are British and not just Australian. But,
a little Aussie accent. Any other questions? Yes,
I've got one. So I love how you feel how the mothers want the best for their children, but some of them are really horrible as well. The scene that's really stuck with me is by the bed in the ICU and the mother's digging into the nails to hurt her son. Do you think they're good mothers?
I think that mother has been driven to, it's really hard not wanting to give a spoiler away, but that particular mother I think has been driven to the point of no return by her offspring, and that offspring is not pleasant. But I think I think they are. I think the others are. I mean, they might not be good people, but they're good mothers. because that's all they care about is their kids. So I guess that makes them, I guess they're not setting a good example as human beings, but yeah, I'd say they're very loving mothers.
I think so. I think that's a question.
Hi. Do you have you been approached for movie rights for any of the books beyond Trivia Night? And if so, how strongly did you feel about being involved in who's casting them? Because do you have in your mind's eye, that's not that character, they wouldn't be like that?
Oh, well,
it's probably a big question, but yeah.
Well, the Trivia Night was the only one that was optioned. That was optioned by Paramount TV, so it wasn't a movie. But for this book, oh no, I wouldn't be fussy. I'd be like, do what you want. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. No, I wouldn't be fussy. But I got asked the other day who I would cast, and for some reason, just Naomi Watts is just perfect. And I think maybe as Beck, I can just see her making a cake and just being really perfect. And then I really like the idea of Sarah Snook from Succession as maybe a Stella, because she's just got one of those faces that you know, she just plays, and you know, she's got a lovely smiley face off screen, but you know, she plays such an evil character that yeah, she's quite appealing to me in
I
that
just
role.
wonder, because as a reader, sometimes you read and then you see something that gets made into a film and you're like, they don't look like that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be fussy. Be like, no, give me the money. Do you like it? Oh, Sally. Question.
Is Rebecca still one of your favourite books? And if so, why?
Great
question.
question.
Yes, it's still one of my favourite books, and I think I love Rebecca so much because it was kind of like the original domestic noir. It was kind of like the original, before there was Leon and Sally and all these great writers, Rebecca was just such a good kind of domestic thriller. And yes, I still love that book. As you know by the 800 copies in various formats we have around the house and in the loo. And
5 lined up in the bathroom.
yeah. 5 in the bathroom. Hashtag obsessed. Thanks, darling.
Ellie, is there a little bit of you in each of your characters in all of your books?
Some of them, I guess. I think, when I was writing Beck, I did feel like there was a bit of, I sometimes felt like I would say things that, and maybe it's because she's, you know, she did ancient history, she worked in the Roman room and she speaks Latin, not that I speak Latin, but you know what I mean. Just that kind of, those familiar things, I found her easy to write, so maybe there were some sort of facets of
What
me.
about the bad ones?
Oh, I think that's probably the side of me that I would like to, because I think I'm generally, as a person, I'm quite mild-mannered. I don't like confrontation. It upsets me if I argue with someone, and all these women that I write thrive on it. So I think maybe there's some deep-rooted part of me that wants to have a really good row with someone.
It's your alter ego.
It's how I unleash maybe that, you know, that aggression. I don't know. It's interesting. It should be studied.
Renata?
At what point do your characters become something that you've created to their own entities? Like, do they ever surprise you with the things that they do? You're like, I would never have chosen this for them, but
yes. I mean, sometimes you get really carried away in the writing and you're just really getting into a character and something pops into your head and you might think, oh, that's a bit outrageous. Am I going to go with that or not? But I don't think I've ever been to the point where I've kind of written something really crazy without it popping into my mind first and me kind of like quickly yesing or knowing. I don't know, it's quite weird. I have heard writers say that sometimes the pen takes over, and it's sort of Max Fawcett was saying about everything is perfect, that the pen kind of takes over, or the keyboard takes over, and she just goes into this world and suddenly her characters will be doing things that are kind of maybe out of character, I don't know, and you know, she'll then find a new facet of their personality. But I don't do that. I just kind of, you know, something will pop into my head and I think, oh, should I do that? Yeah, and I'll just make up my mind.
Anyone else? No? Well, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Ali will be signing copies of her book, and thank you for coming along. And thank you, Ali. Thank you, Vicky. Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
yourself to the home baked
Please have a cupcake over the
Definitely.